being, I'll turn on this background music for the second so y'all can read it, and we're going to come back and talk about it. Okay, well, evidently that didn't work. So like I say, I'm still learning. Hold on, y'all go ahead and talk about this Sha'Carri. Y'all,
yeah, we know about Sha'Carri. We know about Sha'Carri. It's cool. We can talk about Sha'Carri. First of all, she Texas finest. Even more so, she Dallas, Texas finest. So I can talk about Sha'Carri all day.
Oh,
it's no worries because y'all know I'm from Dallas, Texas. So I feel like that's my girl.
Yes.
Okay. She is also a consumer. So that is another thing that we have in common. We also wear color hair. Okay. And she not going to be bullied because she from Dallas, Texas by anybody. By the Olympic people, the people who are running the whole thing. What do you call them? The United States
Anti-Doping Agency. Yeah.
When she got in trouble for testing positive for cannabis, and she said she consumed after her mom died, versus the Russian national, who we know Russia is known for cheating. Like they cheat in the Winter Olympics, Summer Olympics, in multiple sports, and in conversation of being not able to compete due to their cheating. But yet I believe she was an ice skater who had actual performance enhancing drugs in her system that were against the anti-doping agency, she and the Olympic committee, and she was still able to do her sport. And so, Sha'Carri continues to speak out. She continues to let people know that this is wrong, that there are rules in place to allow certain people to compete and allow certain people to not compete, to allow drugs that we know that take away the credibility of the sport and that are on the list for performance enhancing drugs for a reason. But Sha'Carri is still being looked in a way, was not able to run these things because she consumed cannabis. And she still stands by that, which is something that I appreciate and love about Sha'Carri Richardson, is that she is not afraid to stand by her convictions, and I respect that. Regardless of whether you agree with her or not, she stands by it. She speaks. I respect that, and I'm proud of Sha'Carri. She has a supporter in.
All right, same here. And you know what? Now I'm gonna go ahead on and move on to the. Let me look at you. Just look at you. You see, I'm still working the tip fields, and look who up on the big screen. Gotcha. Let me go ahead and pop you back down. Okay, I'm talking to myself again.
Let me go ahead and get you off
because you was all up there. See, I wasn't gonna go ahead and go there. See, I'm being nice. I'm on my 21 days. I don't know what day is this right now, Erica. What day is the 21 days? So we on day 5. So I got a few more days to go. At 7. Okay, day 7. So okay, but yeah, the next topic that we're gonna move on to,
the cannabis and athletics was a huge thing though, guys, because we were talking about the Brittney.
Yeah, the athletics. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we're going to Brittney.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're going into. I was about to lead into.
Look, it's causing us problems. The same country that is doing this. It's the same country that's causing Brittney.
Same one. Same. Look, hey, I'm gonna let you take this one because I'm feeling that passion right there with you. Come on with that one. Come on, Miss America. Come on.
Miss America. All right, y'all. So y'all know I love sports. So you know what I'm saying? I love sports. I love weed. I mean, I love what companies like Viola are doing, just with everything and incorporating this in cannabis and really talking about recovery and all of this kind of stuff. But we all know we have been Brittney Griner story for the last since March or whatever. And we know she was locked up in free, but it did not come out until 30 days later in March that she had been locked up in Russia for cannabis vape pens. So they say, right? This is all allegedly. You know, we cannot trust what is coming out of that news cycle and out of that information. But what this says here is just week to the detriment. I mean, I don't know. I can't say that. It made me extremely sad because I already know how many people are coerced and pleading for things that they just don't have the time to fight, even though they're not guilty. So it seems as though we have that situation here happening to Brittney and Russia, where they did go ahead and plead guilty to the drug charges.
Yeah.
So it says American Brittney Griner pled guilty to drug charges in Moscow court Thursday. Her lawyer said leaving her a prospect up to 10 years in prison. Stop there because I mean that's really the most important part of the story, and I roll my eyes and grip the back of my neck because I don't know if you all have any family members who have ever been sentenced, but when you're like being in sentencing is almost harder than the trial, like, you know what I'm saying? And to know that as we stated on our show when we talked about her initially in March, we know that Brittney is fighting against being, you know, homophobia in Russia. She's Black. She's more androgynous. You know what I'm saying? And we know that these are things that Russia has been known to kill people for. So, like the fact that she had to advise her to plead and her sentence 10 years. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous on a multitude of levels. It's ridiculous here. It's ridiculous over in Russia. And she's, I mean, you know, I have a lot of feelings about this. I'm gonna let somebody else speak, but also came out after Brittney's wife had been going around telling everybody that Joe Biden wouldn't take a meeting with her. She was able to, so this is you guys are just reading about the original story, but her wife was actually able to take a meeting with Joe Biden, and you know, unfortunately, much like the executive branch in America, he could not save her. No, he couldn't. It's so sad. It's sad. And like you were speaking on about 99% that's brought up on charges in Russia are found guilty. 99%. So basically, if it's like saying, hey, if we say you're guilty, you're going to be guilty. And this right here, you know, I see things on the internet, the people talking, well, you know, she didn't stand for the flag and she needs to be over there. These people right here, they really piss me off. I don't say things because it's like, what's the point in going back and forth with ignorance? So basically you saying, okay, she doesn't love America. Who said she doesn't love America? She doesn't like the things that America did. Right. You know, the history. And the only reason she over there and only pay her $150,000 and she the number one player in the WNBA and they wasn't paying her to pay her bills and live her life like NBA players out here. So she was out here trying to get some money just like Diana Taurasi, like Sue Bird. She's no different. She's no different.
She's different. She's different.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right.
She's different.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah,
got a valid point on that.
Yeah. No, that's true. She is different because they're here,
but
doing
still,
their show on ESPN.
Yeah. So why did they pick her out? Ain't no way in the world that they didn't know that she's been over there for years, and ain't no way that they didn't know that she used those type of supplements or whatever. I understand you might forget and you might pack something that you might not need to, but they know everything. This ain't no way.
But regardless of that, when you stop and think about it, you know, when she said that it was an accident that she had that in her suitcase. And let's bring that back home because, you know, some people may come out but like, oh, that wasn't an accident. Let's think about domestically here in the United States I mean, think about about a month or so ago, we were going through the airport and TSA was totally shut down because someone forgot they had left their handgun in their bag. You know what I'm saying? You know good and well you can't go through an airport with a handgun. So you're not going to go and bring it because your bag is going to be scanned. That happens all the time, that people forget certain things in their bag. So it happens when you packing, you rushing, trying to get somewhere, you may forget that you can't bring the big tube of toothpaste. You know, you have to bring the small one. You're just throwing things in your bag because you're rushing trying to get to the airport. Because especially in Atlanta, you know, you got to be there 5 hours before, and they say 2. No, you better be there 5. But it's just the idea that actually happens. So you can't even use that against her and saying, oh, yeah, no, she didn't forget, it was on purpose. No, because people forget stuff all the time. So it happens. It happens, you know, but we still can't take away from the fact that, number one, it's alleged, you know. Number two, like Erica said, you know, we don't know if she was coerced to go ahead and say that, you know, plead guilty. You know, trying to help herself get out. We don't know the full story, and we probably will never know the full story, you know, because it's not going to come out to tell us the true story. We're not going to ever hear that. My only hope is that something is done to bring her back and get her back home to her family, back home to the sport that she loves. And if this is somebody who actually goes and plays in the Olympics for this United States, you know, and represents this country, then you should be doing something to help bring her back home. Just period, point blank, the end. That's it. She represents this company, this country, every time she steps across and goes to the Olympics and plays. She represents. So if this sport was paying her what she truly was worth, we wouldn't have this issue at all. Period.
I do want to play the devil's advocate here, though, because I completely agree. I'm all for the shits. Like, especially, it's like by any means necessary, if it's medicine, if it's recreational. However, there is still that side of me that believes when you are in a situation where you are an example for the country or whatever, whether we say she may have forgotten that there was cannabis oil or whatever in her bag, I feel like there's a level of responsibility that she had to have thought twice. Like, we're not dealing with local TSA where you could be locked up for a couple of days or 5 years or whatever. Here, where you belong, we're talking about out of the country. So that's kind of like where I'm at. I'm like, did she not even think about what the repercussions could have been? And I know a lot of people who are outside the cannabis community feel the same way. They're like, bruh, like, what the hell was she doing carrying that stuff to Russia or from Russia, whatever happened? Like, where was that level of responsibility? It wasn't there. So, I mean, hey.
But think about that too. And I understand the playing the devil's advocate on that. And I get that too. Trust me, I do, you know, but if that is the case, how many times did she bring it over there and nothing was said?
That's right.
Now, if that's the case. So, I mean, there's a couple of ways we can actually look at that, because if it was not a mistake and she did bring it over there, it probably is not the first time.
Right. And I guess my mentality would be like, if Russia and all these people over here having issues, that would make me, and granted, I'm just playing devil's advocate, I would be more like leery about transferring that stuff, especially Russia, especially when the United States is really based off of, right? They were kind of more so towards Ukraine. And if I'm part of the United States, I'm going into Russia, I would already feel like somebody's going to be looking at me. So I feel like the level of, okay, maybe I should have just taken a step back and see if I could get it somewhere else or see something. I probably wouldn't have stepped into that. But,
yeah. Or maybe not even, or maybe not. And it's not that I'm not saying that I don't agree, you know, partially what you're saying, but maybe not. Because if you think about it, she's been playing for that team for several years, many years. She was playing for that team and doing well over there. So maybe she didn't think that they would bother her because they hadn't before, because she was doing well for their country, playing on their team.
She felt comfortable.
There's comfort.
And she did mess up. Even number one, and even did mess up, you know what I'm saying? Even if she did mess up and dropped the ball, was irresponsible. possible. Years in Russian penitentiary. That's what we do. 10 years.
I know.
In the penitentiary for a mistake.
I know. 10 years is too long.
For a country that I played for, from the country that I'm from, ain't nobody gonna step up for the kid. Ain't nobody gonna be like, she made a mistake. She's, you know what I'm saying? She a good, like, you like, but again, that's why to me it's about not caring about the black bodies. Had she had, I mean, you know, like, you know, I kind of agree. I mean, I kind of that if it would have fucked around and been something else. You know what I'm saying? Like they, you know, just feel like you're looking for a reason. Like T said, you can't give them a reason. You know what I'm saying, and they
you can't.
already looking for a reason. They already don't like Americans, don't like black people.
They were like plotting and scheming.
Like, right. And all she did was give them a reason. And you know, it's sucked that it's like being black in this world, like 2 strikes against you. Like they're basically about to ruin this woman's entire because of a mistake. Even if it was like even if she like knew she had absent judgment, like that's what we say to people in this world, that a lapse in a mistake will clear your life in this. Now you white, you can make all the mistakes you want, all the mistakes you got. You can mess up, come back. I was watching a documentary on Robert Durst, this man killer. They kept putting him back in the street. You know what I'm saying? But you black in this world deal with these white supremacists, and you do not have space to make them type of mistakes. And that's what's fucked up. Yeah. In America or overseas, you're dealing with the savages. You got savagery ass rules.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
That's it. Yes, Lord. But you know what? That section right there.
That's all we can do. That's deep. At this point. That is all. You're right about that.